Most homes do not become stressful all at once. It happens quietly. A box is placed beside the door because you may need it later. A shirt is pushed to the back of the closet because one day it might fit again. A broken lamp stays in the corner because repairing it feels easier than deciding what to do with it. Nothing seems serious on its own, but then one evening you walk through your front door after a long day. Your eyes move across the room, shoes near the entrance, papers on the table, objects covering every shelf. You have not even sat down, yet part of you already feels tired. The strange thing is, you may believe the solution is to buy something else. A larger cabinet, better storage boxes, a new shelf, another organizer. But what if your home does not need more help? What if it simply needs less to carry? There is a quiet lesson found in many Japanese homes. Peace is not always created by adding the perfect object. Often, it appears when the wrong object finally leaves. And some of the things stealing your peace do not look like clutter at all. They look useful, sentimental, responsible, maybe even beautiful. The first thing many calm homes remove is anything that remains broken for too long. Think of the clock that stopped months ago, the chair with the loose leg, the drawer that no longer closes, the appliance waiting to be repaired someday. At first, you notice it. Then you learn to walk around it. That is where the real problem begins. A broken object creates a small, unfinished decision. Every time your eyes pass over it, your mind receives the same quiet message: something still needs to be done. You may not think about it directly, but the open loop remains. In Japanese-inspired living, objects are often treated with care because usefulness is part of their beauty. This does not mean throwing away everything imperfect. Wabi-sabi teaches us to appreciate age, wear, and natural change. But age is different from neglect. A repaired bowl may carry history. A broken bowl left forgotten in a cabinet carries delay. The choice is simple. Repair it with intention, use it with gratitude, or release it. Do not make your home hold decisions you are unwilling to make. The next thing is harder to see because it often hides behind closed doors. Clothes for a life you are not living. Open your closet for a moment. There may be jeans waiting for a smaller body, formal clothes waiting for events that never come, expensive pieces you do not enjoy wearing but feel guilty removing. A closet can look organized and still be full of pressure. Every item that no longer fits your body, your lifestyle, or your present season asks you to compare yourself with someone else. Sometimes that person is your past self. Sometimes it is an imagined future version of you. But neither of them is getting dressed this morning. You are. A calm closet supports the life that exists now. It does not punish you for changing. This is where the Japanese idea of danshari becomes useful. It is not simply about getting rid of things. It is about refusing what does not belong, releasing what has finished its purpose, and loosening your attachment to what remains. Keep clothes that fit, serve, and respect you today, not someday, today. Now consider the entrance to your home. This is where outside life first meets inside life. In many Japanese homes, the genkan creates a clear boundary. Shoes come off. Outdoor dirt stays near the door. The home begins with a small act of transition. But in many other homes, the entrance becomes a landing place for everything. Shoes, delivery boxes, bags, coats, unopened mail. You arrive home, and before you can feel safe, you meet a wall of unfinished activity. Here is what most people miss. The entrance teaches your nervous system what to expect from the rest of the space. A crowded doorway says, "There is more to handle." A clear doorway says, "You can breathe now." You do not need a perfect entrance. You only need one that allows you to enter without immediately facing disorder. Keep the shoes you use nearby. Store the rest. Remove empty packages. Give bags a proper place. Let the first few steps into your home feel different from the world outside. But clutter is not always large. Sometimes it fits inside a drawer. Old cables, dead batteries, chargers for devices you no longer own, earphones that work only when the wire is held at a certain angle. You keep them because one day they might become useful. Yet every time you open that drawer, you see confusion. This is not only physical clutter, it is decision clutter. Should I test this? Should I repair it? What does this cable belong to? Could I need it later? Your mind asks these questions in less than a second, then moves on without answering any of them. That tiny moment repeats for years. This is why small objects can create surprising mental weight. They hold postponed decisions in physical form. Take everything out, test what can be tested, label what matters, recycle what is dead. Technology should remove difficulty from life. It should not sit in a drawer quietly creating more of it. Then there are the objects we keep because another person gave them to us. A decoration you do not like. A souvenir that means little to you. A gift that never matched your taste but has stayed on the shelf for years. You may look at it and feel nothing. Or worse, you feel guilt. This is emotional clutter. The object is not staying because it brings beauty, meaning, or usefulness. It is staying because you are afraid that letting it go will make you ungrateful. But gratitude does not require permanent storage. The moment you received the gift with kindness, its first purpose was complete. You can appreciate the person without keeping every object connected to them. Imagine how different your home would feel if every visible item had a clear reason to be there. Not because someone might visit, not because someone might ask, because it supports the life happening inside your home now. The love was never trapped inside the object. You are allowed to keep the memory and release the thing. The same is true of empty containers and boxes. One box feels practical, then another arrives. Soon, an entire corner is protecting empty space. We tell ourselves we are preparing. Maybe we will move. Maybe we will sell something. Maybe we will need the perfect box for a future gift. But many Japanese homes are smaller, which changes the value of space. Empty space is not seen as wasted space. It is part of the room. There is a Japanese concept called ma. It refers to the meaningful space between things. A pause in music, silence in a conversation, the open area around a simple object. Without space, nothing can be fully noticed. When every corner is filled, the room loses its pauses. Keep a few containers that have a clear purpose. Recycle the rest. Do not sacrifice real peace for imaginary future needs. Your home needs room for the life you are living, not every possible life you might live one day. Now look at your kitchen. There may be expired spices, forgotten sauces, duplicate tools, cracked cups, or appliances that seemed useful when you bought them but have barely moved since. A crowded kitchen creates a strange kind of friction. You open a cabinet to find one thing, but first you must move 5 others. You reach for a pan, but several unused tools block it. Each action takes only a few extra seconds, yet those seconds repeat every day. That is how a home becomes tiring without looking obviously messy. The problem is not only the number of things, it is the number of obstacles between you and ordinary life. A calm kitchen makes daily actions easier. The items used most often are easy to reach. Food is fresh enough to trust. Cups and plates feel safe and pleasant in the hands. This is not about having an expensive kitchen. It is about reducing friction. Remove expired food. Donate duplicate tools. Repair meaningful dishes if they can be used safely. Let damaged or unsafe items go. Your kitchen should help you prepare life. It should not feel like a storage room for old purchases. Another quiet source of pressure is paper. Mail on the counter. Receipts in a drawer. Manuals for appliances you no longer own. Documents you are afraid to throw away but never organize. Paper looks light, but psychologically, it is heavy. A pile of paper does not look like a pile of objects. It looks like a pile of tasks. Read this, pay this, file this, decide this. Even when you are resting, the pile continues speaking. This is why clearing paper can change the feeling of a room so quickly. Create 3 choices. Act on it. Store it properly. Let it go. Do not keep moving the same paper from one surface to another. That is not organization. It is postponement. Touch each piece with a decision. Once the decision is complete, the room becomes quieter. And so does your mind. But some things take space without creating obvious disorder. Decorations are a good example. A shelf can be filled with beautiful objects and still feel exhausting. Every frame, candle, vase, sculpture, and souvenir may be attractive on its own, but when all of them compete for attention, none of them can be fully seen. The eyes keep moving. The mind never settles. Japanese design often gives one object enough space to matter. A single branch in a vase, one piece of pottery, a small seasonal arrangement. The emptiness around the object is not missing decoration. It is what allows the decoration to breathe. Try removing half the objects from one surface. Do not throw them away immediately. Place them somewhere out of sight for a week. Then return to the room. Notice your body before you judge the appearance. Does the room feel empty? Or does it feel relieved? Sometimes we decorate until a room looks finished, then wonder why it never feels peaceful. The room may not need another beautiful object. It may need permission to stop. There is another type of clutter that rarely appears in organizing advice. Objects connected to painful memories, a letter from someone who hurt you, a gift from a relationship that ended badly, clothes from a period when you felt lost, a photograph that changes your mood every time you see it. These items may be small, but the body does not respond to their size. It responds to their meaning. You can walk past an object in 1 second and carry the feeling it creates for the next hour. That is emotional memory. Your home is where your nervous system is supposed to recover, yet some objects quietly ask it to return to old pain again and again. This does not mean you must erase your past. Some objects remind you that you survived. They carry wisdom, gratitude, and growth. Others simply reopen the wound. Ask yourself one honest question. Does this object help me remember how far I have come, or does it pull me back into the moment I was hurt? You are not disrespecting your past by protecting your present. Not every chapter needs to remain open on a shelf. And finally, many peaceful homes remove items that belong only to maybe someday. Maybe someday I will learn this instrument. Maybe someday I will use this exercise machine. Maybe someday I will begin this hobby. Maybe someday I will become the person who needs all these things. Hope is beautiful. But hope can become clutter when it is stored instead of lived. A room full of unused ambitions can make you feel as though you are constantly falling behind. Each object represents a promise you have not kept. The craft supplies, the unread books, the equipment, the unfinished project. You do not need to remove every dream from your home. You need to decide which dreams are alive. Choose one. Give it time, space, and attention. Let the others wait somewhere other than your floor, your table, and your conscience. This is Kaizen in its gentlest form, not changing everything at once, not emptying the whole house in one dramatic weekend. Just making one honest improvement today. One drawer, one shelf, one decision. Because a peaceful home is not created through punishment. It is created through attention. You notice what supports you. You notice what drains you. Then, little by little, you allow your space to reflect the life you truly want to live. Return for a moment to that feeling of walking through your front door after a long day. Imagine the entrance is clear. The table is open. The broken item is gone. The object that carried guilt no longer waits on the shelf. Nothing dramatic has happened. You did not buy a new home. You did not add expensive furniture. You simply stopped asking your space to hold what your life had already finished with. And perhaps that is the quiet truth behind a peaceful home. You do not need to own the perfect things. You need to notice when something has stopped belonging. You already have enough. What you may need now is enough space to feel it. Choose one object today. Repair it, use it, organize it, donate it, recycle it, or release it. Complete one decision your home has been carrying for you. And when you look around your space tonight, what is the first thing you know you are finally ready to let go of? Share it in the comments, and subscribe to Calm Japan Living for more gentle ideas about Japanese-inspired simplicity, mindful habits, and creating a life with more room to breathe.